Transmissivity. This is another cool graph. I would like it to have more things. Again, 0.1 to 100 in wavelength. We're used to that. Now we're looking at transmissivity. So this means if I shine light, how much gets across. Glass is transparent, right? Except here you have fused quartz, right? This is super transparent. This transmits a lot of light, right? This would make awesome lenses for a photo camera or a telescope, unless you want to make an infrared camera, right? A thermal camera. And guess what? The same glass that was so crystal clear transparent, now it's a piece of wood. It's crazy. Well, I don't know if you know, but when you get a thermal camera, where they dock you is with the lenses. Because what do you use to make lenses that transmit infrared? For the most part, as we mentioned, solids are opaque to infrared, right? So they need special fluoride glasses, and I don't know. I paid a lot for those, but crazy stuff, right? And just because infrared is quite opaque, right? Things are quite opaque to infrared, right? And so here you have lucite. This is a clear plastic, right? Right? How it's transparent just where you see it, and after some doubts about itself, eventually goes back to being opaque. Quite cool. Interesting thing. Look at this. You see my glasses? Okay, I promise you I got to see through the glasses. But not in the infrared, right? So again, this is the living proof that what we were saying, that solids are opaque to infrared for the most part. True. Let me show you this video because it's super cool. I'm gonna put it without the music because musical taste of people making videos is terrible. So something fell. So we didn't make this glass. Look, the transparent glass. Isn't that counterintuitive? See, for those of you who wants to spend time in the summer, we could try to replicate some of these. Isn't that crazy, huh? There you have a semi-infinite solid in action, by the way, as it cools down. There you go, the mirror, how the steel, the aluminum plate is reflecting. Help me remember about the evaluations at the end of the class. Oh, the camera is seeing itself there. The poor guy in the back is quite bored. Look at this. I think this is awesome. Check it out. So I have to pay like $5,000 for a fluoride lens, and a trash bag is transparent. So tell me why not to make the lenses out of trash bags? This is even better. Look at this. So, going back from seeing the awesome video to this. If you look at the book, it has like a page and a half of derivation. But the bottom line is this. Emissivity, how much you emit compared to a black body, and absorptivity, how much you absorb compared to a black body, under some conditions, which are pretty much all the time, are the same. So, bottom line, what we're going to be saying is that if you ask me how much you absorb or how much you emit, I'm going to say, okay, let's look at a black body and use the emissivity coefficient for both. That's all it is about this, right? And this derivation is about if the energy comes in and then it goes out and goes to other particle, whatever. As the energy bounces around and gets all distributed, you prove this. We have a few minutes, and I want to get into some of the how we're going to do calculations. And this is a story. If you remember, we have said epsilon sigma t to the 4, t surface to the 4 minus t surrounding to the 4. That was assuming that we were completely enclosing something in temperature, right? And it was good enough to start. Now, if you tell me, well, the energy I'm radiating in that direction is not the same as I'm radiating there because that wall might be at one temperature and that at other temperature. How do I account for some energy going one way, some energy going the other way? Similarly, some energy comes from the wall to me and some energy comes from the other wall to me. So the problem now gets complex. Remember when I told you about 4D problem? Okay, you have to integrate 2D over the surface of my body to see how much energy is coming out. And then you have to integrate 2D. For each element here, you have to integrate 2D over the surroundings. 2D times 2D, 4D. And that's because we decided to consider radiation from surfaces. If we're talking about flames, shoot yourself, right? So how do you do it for surfaces? We have this concept of solid angle. And solid angle is a concept that sometimes is hard to get a grasp on, but we need to do it. A normal angle is the way you would define an angle is the length of this arc divided the radius, right? And that would give you an angle. That's in radians. Now, for a solid angle, what you look is you have a small surface, right? So here you have a radius, and you do, so and what we call the solid angle, okay, in this case would be, if this is A, and I think there's a 4 pi or something, but now we relate the area over this, no, that's right, the area over the radius. That's what we do, right? And this is in this schematic here. This is a, this would have been an omega then, sorry. So, if you know me, you know that I'm going to tell you that if you want to solve a problem, you have to do the quadruple integral. But guess what, right? Some poor soul before you, over the last 200 years, did this for quadruple integrals. And so these concepts that come from here, and you see here you have the double integral in area and the other one in the other area. You would define this view factor. I'll tell you what it is in a second. And then you integrate the view factor and you're a happy person. So the view factor Fij is essentially how much one surface here sees another surface over there. And that will depend on the size of the surface and also on the orientation of the surface. For example, my hand that has the same surface, I'm seeing quite a bit of hand here, and I'm seeing quite less hand here, right? So if I'm emitting radiation to my hand, I'm emitting quite a bit of radiation now, and less radiation now, right? And similarly, if I'm emitting from the front of my body, it's not the same to be here than to be here, right? So if you account for that, you define this view factor. And it's a lot more complex than I said, but I care about the intuitive sense. And you define, you do this integral, and it gives you this view factor. Based on that, you have a bunch of view factor relations. So I'm just going to leave to stop here. And what we're going to do on Wednesday, our last class, is we're going to go over these and apply them to one or maybe more problems so you get the mechanics. Thank you. Let's stop here.